Today is March 22nd, 2026. It is 5:57 a.m., 6 o'clock. So, I have been very lazy lately. I'm sure there's a lot of discussion I've missed. I'm sorry if I'm not keeping you up to date. I'm behind a lot of things. Yesterday, Saturday, I had time to actually record. After I finished edit whatever I recorded, I was just not into being behind the computer at all. So I just got up and go lie on the couch. So yeah, there are times I'm not into doing anything in terms of recording and things like that. So yesterday was one of those days. So let's go on X. I have a lot of things to share with you. They're probably old. So if I have them, that means that they are interesting. Like this, for instance, was on the 20th, 2 days ago. So let's just go. All right. If I have time, I'll try to go on my likes folder and see what I have for you. Okay, so there's this one here. That was on the 20th. All right, first tweet. Peak royal indoctrination on LBC with Matthew Wright. Caller Steve swear blind that the royal family generates more money than it costs taxpayers. Are you freaking kidding me? Wright asked him to justify it with actual evidence. Okay, this is almost a minute. Let's listen, screenshot, okay?
If you look at royalty in general, the millions that the royals generate...
Can you produce any evidence of that? I've been looking for it for 40 years as a journalist, and I've never found any evidence that suggests the royals bring in more than they cost.
Can you produce any evidence that...
But I'm not making the one that's making the claims. I'm just saying there's no evidence to back up the assertion that they bring in more money than they cost.
Right, okay. So all the tourists that speak to me when I'm in London are always asking after the royals. There's they love the mystery. They love the mystery.
You've been to the Palace of Versailles in France. It's a hugely popular tourist attraction in France, where of course they chop the heads off their royal family. But it hasn't stopped people going to visit them. I'll just mention that as an aside. Steve, pleasure talking to you.
Whoa. But what he's suggesting, the color, I'm assuming it's probably back in the 80s, 90s, perhaps, maybe early 2000. But after all this stuff that's been coming out of the UK, politically and with the royal family, I don't think so. Let's see here. King and Prince William's estate making millions from charities and public services. Duchy of Cornwall and Lancaster likely to make at least £50 million from leasing land to services such as NHS and schools, according to investigation. Some of these information on this particular headline, I have already report on them. You know, whatever the UK have written. I think Channel 5 in the UK, there was either documentary about it. What's this? Okay, so there's that. You could pause and read. All right. Whatever's on the screen, that's all I'm gonna read. Yes, selling kids abolish the stinking corrupt monarchy. For effing sake, the Tories BS was debunked years ago. Legoland brings in more than they do, and more will come to actually tour palaces and gardens than they ever do to stand peering through Lock Gate. If that's the justification, maybe Alan Sugar or Jim Radcliffe should have a go at being king. No one goes to the UK in the hopes of seeing those boring, useless human antics. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. If I were to go to, let's say, the UK, what I would like to see is Stonehenge. And maybe the palace, because, you know, on TV, on social media, you see where they, you know, when they're on the balcony or something. Maybe I would like to see Buckingham Palace. Is that the name of it? Buckingham Palace. So that's about it. I really don't care about seeing any of the royal family. Stonehenge and Buckingham Palace. What else do I'm aware of? Maybe those colleges. What's the name of those colleges? Universities. It's a type university. Oxford. Okay, maybe that one I would want to see. That's probably these three, or maybe London Bridge, perhaps. These are things, I read on social media, books, and things like that. Or maybe Parliament. That's something I know I cannot go in there like that until I get there. I will find out. I could search online to see if people could visit there, if you had to make appointment or whatever it may be. So these are the things. If I were to go to the UK, I probably would want to see. But other than that, the royal family will not be the reason why I want to go over there. If I go to France, maybe obviously Champs-Élysées, that's I think it's like a huge concert hall or something like that. The museum where Mona Lisa is. What else? The Eiffel Tower. What else? Maybe there's a couple things, but not the people itself that would make me want to go over there. But anyway, so that's that. This is the next tweet. So they're now admitting to what we've been saying all these years. Meghan was used as a scapegoat to protect not just the royals family, as but Prince Andrew. The full outrage they created that Meghan went on a private jet was all to protect Andrew. Yeah, these people are ridiculous. Yeah, the thing is that from making videos about Harry and Meghan and looking into the royal family, the kind of tactic, manipulation, the lies for no reason actually that they have learned to find out about these people, they're actually making themselves worse in the long run. Not just them in particular, and plus we see what's going on in the US. Alliances that have been broken. You made trust with certain people. Things have been broken. So like I've said, the US is on a pedestal right now for the world to see. It's being displayed on a global scale. So people are paying attention. In the long run, if we do get through whatever the world is going through, white people might have a hard time to make deal with other groups. Hopefully these other groups see what's going on and understand these people cannot be trusted. And they realize that people are catching up to their BS. So that's why they're running through whatever it is that they're doing globally. It's not just in one section. If you see your country is at peace right now, just pay attention. They are at it. They're doing it globally because it seems like they're running to finalize whatever it is that they were doing. Because before, they were doing it so subtly, under the radar. They were still moving forward to their goal, but people were not paying attention. Now people are in full blast. So they're running through their I don't even think they're manipulating anyone anymore. They're really going through whatever it is that they're trying to get to. So whatever your country you are in, just pay attention because eventually whatever you see is happening in the USA, it's not far back from reaching you in your respective country. You might be at peace right now. Those same groups, especially European countries, just pay attention because they're reaching to you as well. The only reason you're probably not seeing the same way as they in the US, because they letting America go first. They're looking at their tactic, what's work, what doesn't work. Like I said in past videos, the riot, not 2025, I think it was 2024 that happened in the UK. I told you guys, it was a test for the UK tested it to see how they rally up people. So the US could copy it and do it in the United States. Trump tried it so many times, but the group that they wanted to be out there saw through it, even though they probably, I'm talking about African American, even though many African American probably were not paying attention what's going on in the UK, like I do sometime in my podcast, but majority of African American knew that, what Trump was trying to do. So They study us African American, especially the foundational African American. They study them and they thought they get them, but there's something, a spiritual thing that's going on. I've been saying this before. It connect with a lot of people who are in tune spiritually, fundamentally connect. They are aligned spiritually, with the universe. They get it. So when Trump tried to do whatever the UK had tested, okay, it didn't happen over here. And Trump have tried over and over and over again. It didn't happen. If you look what's going on in the Middle East, now I don't even know how this started, how they start bombing Lebanon. Okay, one of the things that I said is that they want to control the Middle East. Whatever group it is that want control of the Middle East, now they're jumping over to Lebanon. I think that's the country they start bombing all of a sudden. 2 days I stay away from social media to look into the war, because sometimes when you look into all this stuff, it really gets into you. So I took a step back a little, even though I did some videos here and there, but I really did took a step back. And then came back on social media, I heard they start bombing Lebanon. So they don't give a F anymore. They're literally showing us. All right? They realize that, NATO don't want to get involved with Iran. So Israel is like, F it. Let's just go to the next country that we want to ground up. They start bombing them. Okay? So these people have a plan. They have a plan to take control of the world. So if some of you are in La La Land, once black people, because that's what they're trying to do, get rid of black people and position themselves as the one, whatever not just African American was, okay, it's just that they're lying to people. Whatever black people was or is, their history and everything on this earth, they want to take it. They want to be the one to be considered whatever black people is. So by doing that, they're going across the globe, get rid of the anyone with dark skin, the native. They want the originals. They want to get rid of the originals and make themselves that. So if you are in whatever country you are in Europe or whatever, they already have you in the box that they want you to be, so they could control you. Many of you might say, oh, look at you in the US, look what's happening. People are fighting. But it's a lot. There is a lot that is going on. It may sound really crazy, what I'm saying, but eventually you will see it. All right? But I don't know what to say anymore. Why did I bring all of this up? Just pay attention. Just pay attention. But once they get rid of the originals on this earth, and you see how these people work, those who are trying to replace the originals, they do not have the compassion, understanding, ethical behavior, or to have compassion, to understand your feeling. They do not have that. So once the originals leave this earth is gonna be like a barbaric kind of thing. Look what they do to kids already. They freaking eat them. They use kids for their sexual pleasure. So these are the groups that want to take over. Even if you are white, you don't do this stuff, it is up to you to put a stop to this. When you see people, they usually tell you who they are. Believe them when they're telling you. This is what happened in the US. Trump told the world who he was, who he is. But many of these people went and voted for him. They didn't believe him. And now this is where we are. Why many people, African American, are not surprised? Because Once they saw he won, they braced themselves because they know what he's capable of doing. The others who's crying and shocked and all of this, whose fault is it? The guy told you what he was going to do, but you still vote for him. So it's up to all of us who possess compassion, whatever God had given us, our senses to understand others, to put love on this earth. These are the group that have to do something about it, because the other one that wants to replace the originals, they are barbaric. They do not know any difference. Whenever they see, my God, it's just that I can't believe many people don't see it, but it's out there for everybody to see. Anyway, let me start with my rant. Let's go to the next tweet. So they are now admitting to what we've been saying all these years. Meghan was used as a scapegoat to protect not just the royal family, but Prince Andrew. The full outrage they created that Meghan went on private jet was all to protect Andrew. Okay, I did read it already. Let's listen, 1 minute and 29 seconds.
I would say that this is also a failure of the UK media, and I really do think that, because I can assure you, I can't remember how long I've been doing this story for, but it's a long time now, like a decade and a half, and nobody really bothered very much with it at all. The stories, the multiples of stories about Meghan compared to multiples of stories about this.
That's true.
After he had been pictured with Epstein, after all of these things, which was ages and ages ago, and they all knew off the sort of record and what people said about him, and yet the obsession was still with Meghan. And I remember doing this in 2019 and just thinking, this is absolutely bizarre. They're obsessed with the fact that Meghan and Harry have gone on a private jet to Ibiza. Look the other way. Why is the Queen just driven to Balmoral for this incredibly presentational event, or to church at Balmoral with him sitting next to her in the car? But they wouldn't say anything. The media is part of the establishment, and the establishment has now decided that cutting him loose is a more protective stance than doing what they did before, which was not properly interrogating it all. And the media is part of that to some extent. Not all. I can't characterize the whole media as one thing. No, I wouldn't begin to. But I will say that as someone who wrote about this for a very long time, there was a long, long period when they were far more interested in covering Meghan than looking into any of this stuff, even though large aspects of it were in the public domain.
Love it.
And
Okay.
I
don't know who she is. I don't know if she's in the media. I don't know. This is the first time I'm seeing her in this clip. She is part of the problem. Where was she when the media in the UK were saying all the stuff about Meghan? Where was she? If she did say something, okay, forget what I said. All right? But now that she's raising this, whatever she just said, I like to ask her, where was she? The only group I would remove from this are the women, the elect MPs who wrote the open letter, because they saw what was wrong. Byline Time, the people who write for Byline Time, I will excuse them from that period because they spoke up. And at the beginning, I used to blame the UK people, the little people, but they were so minority. Their voices were so little. But later on, I started seeing more squaddies in the UK speaking up. There was a time where something had happened. That was before, did Harry and Meghan left? I don't remember. Either Harry went to the UK and there was this old woman who was trying to trash the Sussexes, and this squaddie went and, confronted that woman. It's an old lady and a young Brit who confronted the old woman who was trying to trash the Sussexes. I don't remember if Meghan and Harry were there or just Harry. I don't remember. But later on, I discovered there were some squaddies who were doing the pushback, but they were such a minority. Their voices, I didn't come across them until later on. So I used to blame the UK people as a whole, but there were some who were speaking out. But her bringing this up now, I like to ask, where was she during that time that she's referring to? When the UK was trashing Meghan and the media was lying, where was her voice? Oh, and O'Brien, James O'Brien, I'm removing him from that aspect as well, because James O'Brien is one of those people, and Dr. Shola, I'm starting to know more, and Dr. Shola, I had to remove them from that aspect because many of them were speaking out, even though that was not the comfortable things to do, because the media will come after them, but they stood their ground and spoke what was right. You may not agree with them, but they were not jumping on the bandwagon to get a praise for trashing Meghan. They spoke based on what they saw that was wrong. So again, if she did speak out against the media for talking about Meghan, my apology to her. But if she didn't, what the hell are you talking about now? It doesn't make her voice right now doesn't mean shit, because she knew what the media was doing, but she didn't speak up. All right, let's see some of the comment here. Marita Heidi, the woman speaking in the video clip, has also, okay, there it is. I swear I didn't see this comment. Okay, has also contributed to the virtual Prince Harry, but most especially Meghan, has and continue to receive her co-host too. Nonetheless, I'm glad it's being spoken out. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Where was she? So I don't know who this woman is, but at least this person see exactly what I'm saying. Let me give her a like. Marita Harry works in the same media that turned a blind eye to Andrew and his depravity, and now spends her days writing vitriolic articles over Meghan, so I'll pass on her commentary. Okay, so there it is. I'm surprised to learn that Richard Osman has joined the ranks of hacks making money out of cruelty toward Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan. Very disappointing. Meanwhile, these two have also contributed to abusing Meghan. These journalists irritate my soul. We have known this for a long time, and I'm glad the media is speaking out. Meghan was fed to the wolves. They were willing to lie for others and not speak the truth about her and Harry. She really needs to shut the F, because she is one of those people who contribute to Meghan's misery in the UK. Don't you think we forget about your disgusting articles, Marina and The Guardian? Okay, so there's that. Live in a color. She is saying what Meghan said and Harry said and what we've known out loud. Okay, so there it is. The moment I hear her saying all of this, I'm like, where was she? I don't know who she is, but at least the comments that I read pretty much aligning to my voice as well. So there. Next tweet. All right, so there's that. Is that a video? No. A, no, she's not. B, you can compete where you don't compare. C, the only reason it will need to stop is if Meghan was winning. All right. She's responding to the retweet. Meghan Markle constantly trying to compete with Prince William and Princess Kate. It needs to stop. Exclusive. What? I feel like I read this already. Did I read this in one of the comments? There's my comment here. When we, or at least me, when I see shit like this, and in reality, I see Meghan is minding her own effing business, Satan keeps lying about her and trying to insert themselves in her business. We need to pray. So I put this prayer, one person like it. Dear God, I come before you today asking you to cancel every evil plan of the enemy against my life. I humbly put boldly, ask that you defeat Satan as instantaneously as when you sent him out of heaven. Through you, I am more than conqueror. Through Christ who loves me, remind me that your strength, I can move mountains toward good and not evil. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. If she wanted to be like them, she'll stop working and stop using moisturizer. That's the bullying eye. If it is going to other countries that is not competing, as when was the last time William and Kate went on a royal tour. I thought Meghan gives a second thought to Kate, the woman who was cold and unfriendly toward her, wife of the brother from whom her husband is now estranged. They no longer move in the same circles and they live on different sides of the world. All right, let's go to the next tweet. I felt like I read this already. If I find it, maybe I recorded separately to insert in another video, but I didn't do it. Okay, so this is JTB. Okay. Did I record this already? All right. If this is slow down, I'm not going to play it. Go on his YouTube channel to watch it. Lately, I come across some of his videos on X. It takes a while to actually play properly. If it's not playing properly, I'm just gonna stop it and read the comments. Every time Andrew trends suddenly, there is a loud Meghan and Harry Netflix crisis narrative. The timing is obvious. The distraction playbook is obvious. The internet is clocking it. Let me pause. I feel like I read these already. I don't see it, but if I do, I apologize. Okay, so let's listen. 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Let's talk about how the British royal PR machine is working overtime right now. I mean, overtime. Double shift, triple espresso. Because suddenly there's this loud narrative floating around that Harry and Meghan are failing with Netflix. Every time Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's name, formerly known as Prince, starts bubbling back up in the headlines like a haunted teapot, suddenly there's a breaking situation about Meghan and Harry and Netflix. And you're telling me this is organic. Please. This is giving William is having another tantrum. This is giving invoices. This is giving media strategy PowerPoints with bullet points like distract, deflect, deploy the derangers. The firm has always had relationships with media outlets. This is a known fact. That is literally how royal coverage has worked for decades. Access journalism, favorable leaks. So when Andrew starts trending, and suddenly 20 opinion pieces start popping up about how Meghan's Netflix era is over. Not random. That's monarchy sponsored. And the funniest part is the execution. Like, babes, if you're going to run distraction campaigns, at least make them believable. Meghan and Harry are out here living their California dream, producing shows, signing deals, showing up at events. Meanwhile, Palace PR is acting like Netflix is about to repo their house. The more they push these stories, the more obvious it becomes what they are trying to cover up. Because most people aren't stupid. I can't say the same about the derangers, but the internet connects the dots faster than the royal couriers can draft a statement. At this point, the distraction is louder than the actual distraction target. And honestly, it's giving flop era. And that's the read. This is the notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
I feel like I read this already. I shared that already. 100%. There's the heart. Unfortunately, there are still gullible royalists who believe everything that's printed. I cannot believe this still goes on. Yeah, I mean, many people don't have time. They're so busy working. This is what the system is trying to do to people. Make everything expensive and pay you less so you could be in need of work. You don't pay attention to the things that they trying to do to you. You're too busy with your own business. People need to step back and don't work themselves to death. Don't worry, we know what they are doing, but it has never worked and will never work. Sussexes are living and thriving. Yeah, I read this. I think I shared this tweet already.
Let's talk about how the British...
Because I remember when I was editing it, in one of those comments, I put a clip about the media back in the day, a video that I did on PYTE. JTB was talking. I went down the list to see what else I could add. There's this regarding Netflix. I don't know if I shared that already. I keep on piling up. So that was since March 11th. Okay, so this is old. Okay, let's see here. And yet, here you are discussing Meghan and her business that you apparently aren't interested in. Took your time writing a dissertation on it. There's a laugh here. Who you trying to convince, your masters or yourself? The Rangers, you make me laugh so much. Yeah, a comedian. Apparently, you missed the fact that this was a quote from an article. So what was this about? Netflix were not happy with Meghan Markle. The same kind of thing. That's from Daily Mail. Forget that. All right, let's leave that alone. You could pause and read this. Let me expand this. You could pause and read this. That's all. All right, this is my last tweet for this video. It's a LOL, okay? It has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. I thought that was funny. Okay? And the Black American parent is going to say, move, I'll do it. All right, so let's read this. When you ask Caribbean millennials why we can't cook food from back home, it's because this happened when we try to learn from our parents. The moment that I saw it, I literally just saw it and I added to the list when for Chinese New Year we went to my mother-in-law, and there's a sauce, like a hot sauce type of thing my mother-in-law knows how to make. My son like it, my oldest like it. And he went over there and he told my mother-in-law, he bought a huge container for my mother-in-law to do it for him. And what they did is that they make him do it. They make my mother-in-law do it, and they record her. Okay, they record her making it. And I was like, and the other day he was asking me to make it. I was like, you recorded it, go make it. Go watch your video. But anyway, let's watch this video. It's only 22 seconds. There will be screenshot in between.
Okay, now, so add the flour. Just pour the flour into the container. Lick up. No! Too much flour. Why so much flour? Jesus Christ. All right, now, put little water in it. Put little water in it. Jesus Christ, the flour drowned. You drowned the flour. Oh, my God. Okay, now, so add the flour.
I was reading some of the comments. The comments are funny, too. Oh, my God. My Asian mom is like, Mom, you put this in me? What is that ingredient called? Mom, I don't know how to say it in English, but it looks like this. Shows the bottle. That's exactly what my mother-in-law did. Me, Mom, it's in Chinese and we don't speak Chinese. Mom, just tell them what it looks like. Me, okay. Pretty much. So far, that's exactly what my mother-in-law did. Let's see here. Let's pause. YouTube is great to learn recipes from all over the world. Then once you master a recipe, your family will tell you. It's not how you make it, but now you have a frame of reference from which to tweak the recipe, so it's more how your mom, aunties, grandma, and other family makes it. All right, some of the Jamaican food I learned to cook is from watching my grandma in the kitchen. I still go on YouTube to find how to cook certain things. LOL is the emojis that they put at the end. My grandma will have me doing the manual work when I was young, trimming collard greens, separating cabbage leaves, chucking corns, etc. Once I got too big, she kicked my ass out of the kitchen. Oh my God. Yeah, this is why it took me forever to learn how to cook. Jesus Christ. Me, as long I could stir fry, I could boil, that's all I need. Majority of my food don't even have that much oil. It's boil and salt and pepper. I'm good. It's until I had my kids, I started really doing cooking. But anyway, you could pause and read some of these, okay? So that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Thanks for watching.
Avanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
We ask for forgiveness and please come back.